I think we can start now. Good morning, everyone. I think we have only one joining us, so we can have interactive discussion with Marcus if you wish. So let me start to speak about Oman Smart City, which is one of the national projects in Oman. So when it comes to the national project of smart cities, when it comes to smart cities as a concept, everyone is asking one question. What do you mean about smart cities? So let me first give you a brief about it. When we started Oman Smart Cities as a program, we started basically in 2017. At that time, we call it Smart City Platform. So almost from 2017 till 2020, Smart City Platform has, a main focus to deliver mostly the knowledge about smart cities, about the emerging technologies. So we have different projects in hackathons with different cities. We have the first one, it was in Matrah, then we have it in Suhar, then Solala. Then we have also some funded research in smart cities. And from that time, we have, succeed to share, the impact of smart cities. Everyone started speaking about smart cities. And the good news that in 2021, we have started the second phase of smart cities. So it's now becoming as a national project of smart cities and governance. And our main, partners in this project is not just about one organization. It is mainly starting with the Ministry of Transportation, Communication, and IT, because we are mainly focused with the IT sector when it comes to the policies, for example, of the artificial intelligence, the IoT, and other technologies related to this sector. And the main partner is also Minister of Housing and Urban Planning, because when it comes to smart cities, you cannot start with that without them, because the urban planning is one of the main aspects in order to succeed the smart cities in any cities around the world. And of course, we have also the governance in Oman. We have 11 governance. 8 governance are under the Ministry of Interior. They are responsible to support them and empower them. And aligned with the Oman Vision 2040 Oman, they are now trying to be having the approach of decentralization, where the governments can empower their cities to have centralized cities and to be also sustainable and smart. So these are, the main partners in this project, and definitely the other sectors in Oman, from the government sector and private sector, the other sectors. So let us move to the next slide, which is about the project players. So when it comes to the project players, who are our project players in smart cities? So if you go around the world, you will find different approaches, different methodologies, and so on. But the methodology that we are going to follow up is that we need to focus on 5 main categories in order to succeed in smart cities. So the first one is the government sector. Why we need the government sector? The government sector is going to help us when it comes to the governance, about smart cities. What are the policies that we need? What are the regulations? What are the models? Are we going to follow one model or 2 models or different models? Because sometimes you have old cities or you have new cities. So we have to provide different models in order to be successful to talk about smart cities in Oman. The private sector, why we need the private sector? Because they are main, a partner in order to succeed any project in Oman, or let us say around the world. So sometimes we need them when it comes to the funding and implementation. And some of the, services that is provided by the private sector, it has to be succeed because of the government sector. Let me give you one example. When it comes, for example, to the telecommunications sector, if you are going to succeed, the connectivity of smart cities, we have to do it in collaboration with the private sector. And the private sector, for example, the telecommunication companies, in order to succeed in this, for example, providing the FG network and the other technology and so on, we have to give them support from the government sector, because sometimes they need, some facilitation when it comes to the regulations of the services and so on. Let us move to the third player, academia. The academia are one of the main players, because sometimes we need sustainable development. When it comes to the sustainable development, it is very much, close to the academia and researchers, because they are the one who usually, investigate what is the best solution that should be implemented. Is it the best one for this city or not? Is it suitable with us, with Oman context or not. So we need also to collaborate with the academia so they can support us on this, cycle of smart cities methodology. And why we need the SMEs? Because they are the one who are going to provide the smart solutions, and we need also to empower the SMEs so we can also create more jobs for the employees, or let us say the one who are looking for new jobs, so we can help in also increasing the digital economy in Oman. And I always consider them as the main players, which are the individuals, the one who are getting the final end users. Main players might be individuals or community. Different countries, they might use individuals or community, but I consider it the same, because if we are saying about individuals, they are the one who are creating the community, and if you are going to say community, they are also part of the individuals. So these are very important in order to follow up to succeed smart cities in Oman. Okay, what are our goals in this project? So when it comes to the our goals, one of the main goals is, let us first start in governance, because you cannot succeed if you do not have a strong governance, and you have to do it with the different sectors that we have mentioned in the previous screen. So when it comes to the governance, it might be about policies, regulations, framework, models, and you might need a law. So you can, make sure that all the sectors are following that law and making, the process to have a smart city in Oman very much flexible and sustainable. When it comes to the indicators, why we need indicators? I'm sure that you have noticed recently different cities around Oman. They have their own indicators, and sometimes we have international indicators. But it's really important that each city in Oman, each city, or let us say each country, they have their own indicators, because we have to create it with our own flavor. Because when it comes to Oman, it's very, related to the social network in Oman. So we have identified three main dimensions: smart ecosystem, smart people, and smart living. And all of these details are still in progress, and we are going to publish it soon, hopefully by 2021, because also we need to create the competency between the different cities and the different governance in Oman. Why we need that? Muscat used to be the capital and still the capital, and all the attention in the previous people, they used to immigrate to Muscat, but now we need each government to have that competition, so he can compete, or she, with the other governments, so they can prove that our city are also important and centralized, and they can provide the best services for their citizens. Let us move to the third goal that we are trying to do through this project, which is the global collaboration. It's very important to have global collaboration, so we can guarantee that we have some collaboration with different organizations or different global organizations, so we can exchange the best practices and best lessons learned. And this is what we can do, for example, if one organization have a project, for example, in smart solution, we provide that in collaboration with some different companies who are, very successful when it comes to smart cities. So we have to provide them with the best practices so they can implement it successfully. When it comes to the fourth goal, it's about empowering cities. How we are doing that? We have to guarantee that we are empowering cities through different goals. Sustainable development, as I was said, through the academia or through the research, or it might be through the innovation and research centers, and it might be from the consultancy that we are providing with also leading companies who are very experienced when it comes to the smart solutions, or let us say experience in the best practices about smart cities. And stakeholder engagement. Is cities engaging the people to be part of them? Because why planning smart cities projects without the engagement of people? Because if we are going to be successful in these projects, we have to make sure that the people are the ones who are going to plan it with the city planners. When it comes to the fifth goal, we have launched the initiative, we call it Smart Oman, and I'm going to speak more about this initiative in the next slides, inshallah. Pilot projects, we need to have more pilot projects, because if you want to succeed, you need to have some pilot projects in some cities or some governments. If you are going to be successful, for example, in one of the projects, this one will be implemented successfully in different cities in Oman. So we started implementing some of the POCs in different cities around Oman. We have, for example, one of the projects is Dokum Smart City. We have started working with them. So if we are going to succeed in this, we are going then as a pilot project to implement it in different cities in Oman. We have also started implementing some different solutions when it comes to the AI, drones, automated vehicles, and we have also another one which is about smart fuel stations. So more pilot projects are coming on the way, inshallah, so we can succeed in one city, then we move to the other cities. And the final one is about the funding model. This is one of the most, questions that is asked every time. And it's like a challenge for most of the cities, because they always say when it comes to the smart solutions, it's very much expensive. It costs a lot. So how we are going to fund the smart solutions, or how we are going to fund the smart cities projects in the different governments. So we are going to explore what are the best funding model that we can implement when it comes to Oman. We're going to have different models, because some of the models, it might be sponsored by the government, some of them might be by the private sector, and some of them it might be global. So these are going to be explored and shared and published by the end of this year, inshallah, as one of the best methodology to be implemented by the different cities. Let me now speak more, as I promised, about Smart Omanuna. We have launched this because when we speak about smart initiative, sometimes when you speak about the smart solutions, there is a resistance, because in some organizations they say we cannot do it. They are always afraid of implementing anything new. So we decided to have a central hub for smart solutions. Why? Because we are always asked that questions. Do we have smart solutions in Oman? So we decided to have this initiative. So we gather all the smart solutions in one hub, and we call it Smart Omanuna. Why we call it Smart Omanuna? Because it's related to the Omanuna portal, first government portal in Oman, and it's called Omanuna portal. So this will be so much related to it, and to make it easy for the users to log in to Smart Omanuna so they can find all the smart solutions. So this will be like a centralized hub to all the different solutions in Oman, and it's going to cover the different sectors in Oman, as I mentioned. So it's going to build a central hub, and it's going to have like a strong bridge between all the different stakeholders from all the different categories that we have mentioned earlier in this presentation. And definitely we are going to market for the smart solution, because if one organization is going to succeed in one of these solutions, for example, one of the organizations succeed in implementing the blockchain, the other organization will know about this solution and will definitely will meet with this organization so they can know more about this smart solution to be implemented in their organization. And finally, this will be also as a marketing campaign for the different companies, especially the companies who are going to provide, these smart solutions. When I say about this SMEs, if SMEs providing these solutions, they can work with all the different organizations, whether they are government or private sector. So as I said, our main categories that we are going to work with them with Smart Omanuna, the private sector, government sector, the academia, and the SMEs, so they can provide the smart solutions for the government sector or the private sector. And the academia role, as I said, they are the ones who are going to make sure to have the sustainable development. And individuals, they will be the end users. And sometimes we have some individuals who will start as ideas, then they will be startups. So we have also to watch them and support them. So this is in brief about smart initiative, and we have already published some smart initiatives in our social media, and you can find it as you can see in this screen. So log in please to our social media so you can see what we have published so far. We have published so far 4 different initiatives for different sectors. We have published one initiative about the blockchain, one about artificial intelligence, one about smart energy, and one about the use of drones. So you can log in anytime, so you can check all of these. And we are also still inviting the other organizations who have smart solutions and haven't registered yet with us. Please don't forget to join us so we can market also for your smart solutions next time. So this is brief about smart Omanuna and smart cities in Oman. I hope that I was able to give you a brief about the smart city in Oman. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. And also you can reach me anytime in LinkedIn because I'm very active there. So you can raise your questions there. And you can also contact us through the social accounts mentioned in this presentation. Thank you so much.